You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
It's a new year, and I know it's a new you, and we've partnered with our friends over at Factor Meals yet again for the new year. Factor Meals, as you know, is a perfect option for those that don't want to cook, like I don't, but you also want healthy options, and they have a variety for you to choose from. So let's get started with the new year with our friends over at Factor. New year, big goals, no time to cook? Factor makes it easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs, so you can eat well without shopping or cooking. And I've talked to you guys before. I've spoken and gone through Factor meals with my own dietitian, and we've compared it to other meals, and this one has been a great option for me. So there's quality, functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, or refined seed oils. You have 100 rotating weekly meals. Options include high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support. Because people forget this. I was just watching Dr. Frida. I don't know if you guys follow her on YouTube. She was talking about even if you're on GLP-1s, you need to be making sure that you are having a proper diet. It's not something that you can be on and just eat whatever you want. They also have some ready-to-eat salads. Plus, the new Muscle Pro collection supports strength and recovery. You know, I use this, so I think you should too. Of course, I've gotten you a deal. Head on over to factormeals.com/Kempire50off and use code Kempire50off to get 50% off your first Factor box and plus free breakfast for 1 year. Please keep in mind, offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easier with Factor. More details on your discount and more will be available in the description. Hey y'all, thank you to Factor for sponsoring today's live recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Shout out to everyone that's already in the chat. Be sure to let me know if you can hear me, see me, all those good things. Shout out to our King Scars. Shout out to our channel members. Shout out to the 78 of you that have already liked the video. Apologies for being a little tardy for the party. You know what it is. In the morning, first of all, I had a couple of meetings this morning, but also I rewatched the reunion and there was an extended version on Peacock, extended and uncensored version on Peacock. I don't feel like it was much of a difference, guys. There might be little things that, unless you just like hearing them curse, but it wasn't dramatically different. And it seems as if we are having another decent season from Salt Lake City, but a reunion that is lackluster. If you had to rate the reunion from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? I mean, you guys are still, 64% of you have already rated it between 7 and 10. I think that it was okay. It was all right. Who do you think won at this reunion? Who do you think was the MVP of part 1? Okay. Thanks, Josh. Josh says, y'all hear that? Live, not pre-recorded. Exactly. Dude C says, OMG, it's a live. You know what? Y'all lucky this is not in person because I would hem y'all up. Don't forget, guys, you can also hear our live recaps and special episodes of the Kempire podcast. I did release a new Club Kempire recap of Members Only Palm Beach Part 2. That's my Part 2 of my recap. I did a Part 1 last week. So if you want to hear my thoughts on Members Only Palm Beach, be sure to subscribe to the Club Kempire. There's a free 3-day trial that's exclusively on Apple Podcasts, but you can access it via the website if you don't have an Apple device. Okay. Sidebar. I saw that Gail, for those that watch Members Only Palm Beach, I saw Gail got a new wig, y'all. It took all of us talking about her wigs for her to finally get a new wig after all these years and all the love, all the money that she's had and lives that she's had. That lady's a scammer. She is Sonia Morgan. Okay, she was Sonia Morgan before we even knew what a Sonia Morgan was, if we're going to be honest. But anyway, I've digressed, but it's all related in some shape or form, right? Nikki says, wait, has Loverboy era loaded? It's loading still.
Lies! The lie!
Candy, shut up. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We're already almost at 100 likes, but we have almost 300 of you here. Shout out to everyone watching on X as well. Those of you watching on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheKempire. Apparently, the audio and video quality is amazing there. So if you want that, be sure to check us out there. We do have a small community in chat over there, so be sure to join them over there. Okay. If you had to choose who was the MVP of this reunion, who was the MVP for you? I find it to be interesting. I already saw some of your comments in the chat. So I'm already wondering what you guys think. Who is the MVP? I will say that thank you so much, Kay. Kay says, Kempire, I appreciate you live and pre-recorded. Thanks, KP. I appreciate that. Look, J-Poo is watching on there on Twitch. J-Poo says, Twitch is amazing. Go follow me, TheKempire on Twitch. All right. Let's get to this because I do have a lot of notes because we get off kicking from the very beginning of this reunion because, you know, Andy, what he normally does. Sidebar, I didn't really see them do. No, they didn't. They didn't do any sort of like Andy go into the dressing rooms or anything like that. So is that already an indication that this is not going to be a good reunion? We didn't even see Andy go to see them or speak to them before the reunion. Immediately, we're on stage and Heather's the first one to come out. Of course she is. She didn't really have much to do. Based off of the reunion looks. Do I have the reunion looks here? Hold on. Do I have the reunion looks? Yeah. Based off of the reunion looks, live and in living color. How are we feeling about the reunion looks? I will say this. Angie still looks really great. Lisa and Meredith look really great. I love this color on them. Lisa didn't really do much of anything beyond what she normally does. Mary looks great. I will say I don't like Bronwyn's dress and I don't like Whitney's dress. In person and everything. I don't like it. I definitely don't like Heather's dress. To me, Heather's the worst dress of everyone here. I want Bronwyn to go back to the short hair. This is probably the worst I've seen Bronwyn look. I don't like the long hair on Bronwyn. She doesn't look terrible, but I don't like it. I think she's one of the rare people that can rock a short look, and I'm just like, no. But I feel like Meredith looks great. I love her hair. Her hair looks bouncy. It almost looks like high body count hair, and we know she's got a high body count. What? Don't be look.
Yeah. Meredith can go herself. I'm done with her. Because I'm not a whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and a dumb family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Wait, you can't. Because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes? Fake Meredith is a piece of I have your back and I'm offended by that. You piece of garbage whore. I hate her. She's a whore. She's half of New York. She can go herself.
That her own friend told us that. So me making a joke like that is like and funny. Ha, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Someone said that Whitney's dress looked better sitting down. Maybe. I didn't really love her makeup. I didn't love her glam. I didn't love the hair. The hair looked a little sloppy. I didn't like, and I normally like Whitney's reunion looks. I didn't love that. I feel like I can always bring that recording up at any given moment during our Real Housewives of Salt Lake recaps. We've done it. I mean, how long ago was this clip that I made? This clip is so old, and I can constantly, I'm able to bring it up every single season, almost every single episode.
Poor baby.
Oh, Meredith. Meredith is never coming on the daytime talk show. No, she will. She'll come on. She'll come on. Deshaun, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. I love your glasses, Deshaun. Deshaun says, got some not so great news about my dad yesterday, so thank you for the distraction camp. Well, I hope you get better news. Sorry to hear about your dad. Hopefully you'll get some better news, and I'm glad I can be somewhat of a distraction. Look.
Meredith can go herself. I'm done with her. Because I'm not a whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and a dumb family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Wait, you can't. Because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes? Fake Meredith is a piece of I have your back and I'm offended by that. You piece of garbage whore. I hate her. She's a whore. She's half of New York. She can go herself.
How about that for a distraction?
Poor baby.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Deshaun. All right, let's just get into this. So, speaking of whore behavior, what? Meredith and Whitney get into it because Andy goes around the room and he's asking questions. You know what he does, the introduction. He's asking everybody, how's everyone doing? Like, what's your goal for this reunion? So he asked Meredith, like, what's her goal for the reunion? And Meredith asked Whitney about things that she wanted to clear up because apparently Whitney went up to her during BravoCon. Apparently Whitney was very drunk at BravoCon. Remember a couple of episodes ago I talked about meeting Whitney at BravoCon, and she seemed medicated. I couldn't even say that she seemed drunk. She could have been drunk, though. Everyone reacts differently to alcohol. Well, apparently at this last BravoCon, she was drunk, to the point where Andy was concerned she wouldn't be able to make it across the stage. Andy, these accusations of you guys supplying them liquor from the reality TV reckoning seems to just keep coming up. But anyway, grown adults, right? Grown adults, fine. And then apparently Justin had to basically carry her away because that's how drunk she was. Okay? Trini says Brooke Ashley says she was super drunk. How many times was she drunk? Like, was this the same day or another day? They do drink a lot. And apparently, according to Monica Garcia, popping pills too. And people getting their stomach pumped. That's what she said. I don't know if it's true, allegedly. J Poo says, Kempire, did you go to the last BravoCon? No, I did not. J Poo, where you been? No, I covered it though. We did cover it. All the things that came out. It really wasn't that great though. Not a lot. No one's even really talking about BravoCon besides the housewives. Besides what happened at BravoCon for them. So Meredith says that Whitney was really, really drunk. She came up to her because she wanted to clear things up. She said, according to Meredith, she said that that Whitney apologized and said that she wanted to be Meredith's friend. Well, no, that's what Whitney said. And then Meredith later said that Whitney retracted everything. Meredith says that Whitney said, why can't we be friends off camera and leave camera on? I didn't understand that particular statement. What I gathered from what Meredith was trying to say was the fact that Whitney is exactly who we think Whitney and Heather to be. They're doing things for stunts and shows and giggles on this show. They're pre-producing. They're executive producers. Hey, Melissa, who's watching on Facebook. So shout out to Rainey. Rainey's on Twitch as well. So honestly, basically watching part one, I was like, look at this. We're seeing exactly who Heather and Whitney are. Bad Weather is exactly who we thought that they are. So according to Meredith, Whitney basically just wants to perform and have fights on camera, but off camera she wants to be friends. Tiffany on YouTube says, I don't believe Meredith. I don't know who to believe at this particular point. But after they talked about the cucumber, and I was like, look at this. This is a perfect example of what Heather and Whitney are doing on this show, trying to create moments. They're trying to produce moments, trying to distract. Way of Keith says the SLC Ashley Darby. We were saying that about Whitney. It's very Ashley Darby. But I think that's the culture of Real Housewives lately. People are trying to produce moments instead of really living their lives. Y'all, I can't wait for the Kempire After Dark show because I got so much tea last night. I'm not going to wait for all the tea that I got last night, but I'm going to savor on some of this tea for Kempire After Dark March 13th in New York City. So come in person because some of the tea I don't spill on stage. Some of the tea is spilled at the meet and greet. Some of the tea is spilled before the show or after the show. So that's why it's good. If you're in the New York City tri-state area, or want to be, or you haven't seen me and I haven't come to your city and I'm not coming to any other cities either, okay? So get your tickets today, March 13th at the Green Room 42. Tickets are now on sale, but you could also get the live stream ticket if you can't make it. If you live in Sweden, if you live in South Africa, if you live in New Zealand, hey Data, if you live in give me a country. If you live in Brazil, there we go. Get your tickets today. Way of Key says, don't make me fly out. Oh, I froze. Shut up, Wire 11. It's all right. Oh. Keisha says, spill some tea, Kempire. Not here. Nope. You're going to have to pay for this tea. This tea was so good, too. I am going to spill some of this tea, I think, though. Some of this other tea. I got some other tea that I want to spill. Exactly. If you're in the Europe cities, okay? Get your live stream ticket today. The live stream ticket you get to keep for like a week after, okay? Cindy said Frozen. We know Cindy. Wait. Talia says The Wire strikes again. I haven't changed it because I think it's funny. Miss Melon Magic says, not me arriving when The Wire went out. It's not even really The Wire, y'all. It's the mechanism that connects The Wire. I just need to just change it. It literally will take like 2 seconds. You know what, Melissa? You got jokes. Melissa's watching on Facebook. She says, Wire 100, Kempire 0. No, it's 11. Calm down. Miss Melon Magic said, how long have you guys been live? 15 minutes. 15 minutes. All right. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Easy, free way of supporting. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Yeah. So as I said to you before, I got a lot of information, so I'll spill that tea. When New York City, and literally just what? Literally now it's 2 months, less than 2 months away. So get your tickets, get the live stream ticket as well. Oh, exactly. Thank you, Nicole. Nicole says, Club Kempire Baddies here. So spill the tea on the podcast. Okay. I'll spill something there. I'll definitely spill something there. I can't spill. I got a lot of information. I was like, damn, what happened? Okay. KP says, love The Wire. It's a character in our community. Please don't fix it. No, I really do. Because eventually it just won't return. So are you watching from Japan, Nakiba? How are you liking Japan? I miss Japan. I keep seeing signs that I need to get back there. I want to go to Japan. I want to do some luxury shopping going back to Japan. Who knew there was such great shopping in Japan? Well, now I do. Anyway, focus, y'all. So Meredith and Whitney go back and forth, okay? Because Meredith has one recollection of what Whitney was saying during BravoCon. Here's the thing, though, Whitney. I can't believe Whitney because you were so damn drunk. You confirmed that you were drunk. Andy confirmed that you were drunk. The Brooke Ashley confirmed that you were drunk. Everyone says that you were drunk. So how are we supposed to take your account of what was said? So if you're slurring to Meredith, like, Meredith, why can't we just be friends, on camera, off camera? Why are we supposed to believe what you're saying? You were drunk. You had to be carried across by your husband. So just saying, I based off this little beginning part of the reunion, for me, Meredith wins. Foxy says that Whitney's full of it. You were drunk. How do you remember what exactly you said to Meredith? So she's denying. Whitney says that she won't try again with Meredith. Good. I wouldn't want to be Whitney's friend. I wouldn't want to be Whitney's friend. I wouldn't want to be Heather's friend. But that's me. What about you guys? I wouldn't want to be their friend. I think they're weird. Okay? Soka says, Kempire, we all know that Whitney was lying. It was a scheme her and Todd set up to come to Mayor with the BS. It's funny because it's true. So she says she's not going to try again with Meredith or being, trying to be Meredith's friend. Okay? So Whitney says that she accuses Lisa of always trying to talk for Meredith. That was a theme. Tag teaming was a theme. Do you guys think that Lisa and Meredith were tag teaming? I definitely think at some particular point they were. However, I really believe that the rest of the group were tag teaming with each other. I think they all were tag teaming with each other. But they started it based off of what we saw in this reunion, the tagging. KP, welcome to being a part of the Royal Court. I see you upgraded your membership. Welcome. All right. Whitney then apologizes. She said, I apologize to Andy for being so drunk. Andy said that he was more concerned that she wouldn't make it across the stage. My thing is, if a housewife is that drunk, do you allow them to come out on stage? But maybe he didn't see it until she was actually out there. I don't know. I just feel like this whole housewives behind the scenes situation is very toxic in a lot of ways, especially if you have any issues with sobriety. This is not the environment for you. My personal opinion. Jennifer says they all tag team. Oh, and without a doubt, and they tag team and they plan and plot this before the reunion. Hey, Miss Esquire, thank you for being a member. Miss Esquire says, Lisa and Meredith came to an understanding after that famous audio and their reconciliation. The alliance requires complete loyalty. Yeah, without a doubt. And that's exactly what we're seeing. That is exactly what we're seeing. So speaking of Lisa, they go into Lisa's package in regards to what she went through during the season. Heather says that Lisa is still a risky friend. Heather, a couple of times when trying to explain herself, makes no sense. It's like word salad. I'm just like, she's like, yes, Lisa is a risky friend. She plays with really high stakes. What the hell are you talking about? And I'm not saying that Lisa isn't a high-risk friend, but I'm sitting there trying to make sense of what Heather is saying. And I'm like, what the hell are you saying? Shut up. For me, I don't know what you guys think. For me, Lisa was the MVP at this reunion. And you know I'm not a Lisa Barlow stan. I love that. You know I'm not a Lisa Barlow stan like that. But based off of this reunion, I'm like, Lisa had more funny, quirky moments, and she seemed unbothered while the rest of these people were like grasping for straws. And her saying that Lisa is a high-risk friend, yes, I believe that Lisa is a high-risk friend. However, her explanation of that, you know, Lisa, she really plays with really high stakes. What the hell? What are you saying? What are you saying? Lisa says that Heather is a sneaky friend. And I agree, because Lisa says that Heather is the one who told Angie to bring up the farting and kissing, and the kissing and farting, and the farting and kissing about Todd. Angie apparently told Lisa at the airport that Heather said that it would be funny. See? Multiple examples during this reunion where Heather and Whitney are trying to produce moments for the camera while distracting for whatever's going on or not going on in their lives. Yup. So for me, that was example one. So Lisa says that Heather's a sneaky friend. I agree. I would agree with Lisa. Heather is a sneaky friend. And then she tried to downplay the fact that she brought up, she had told Angie to say the whole farting and kissing on camera. Did y'all pay attention to Bronwyn's reaction? Bronwyn was just sort of like looking at them like, what? Yes, Bronwyn. Yes. They're the ones who told to bring that up on camera just so that they could get some sort of moment and reaction out of you. Those ladies are not your friends either. And yes, Angie is a grown adult and she should be able to decipher when to say something and not to say something. However, she's also a newbie, freshly new. Not, she's been on there a couple of years at this particular point, but still she's new to this. So she's, of course, going to listen to an OG. Like, oh, it's going to be funny. You'll have a funny moment. They'll include it. And it did. It was included. But I definitely believe that Heather is a sneaky friend. Lisa, one for you. Okay. So Lisa then accuses Angie and Heather of tag teaming. Heather says that Lisa and Meredith are the ones tag teaming. No, you all are tag teaming at this particular point. You're all tag teaming. So they start talking about, they use the word writing, and Lisa's like, writing is such a Utah term. She said that's such a Utah thing. And she's like, you're from Utah. You've lived in Utah for 25 years. She's like, no. She's like, I'm from New York. And Andy's just like, you're from wait, like, so we're like, huh? And she's like, yes, my DNA is New York through and through. That made me laugh. Because I was like, me too, Lisa. Me too. Rioting is such a Utah thing. Didn't realize that, rioting is a Utah thing. Okay. Josh says that Heather's a gutter snipe. Damn. That word always gets me. I'm like, Dad, don't ever call me a gutter snipe. I'm like, damn, that's the lowest of the low. Not a gutter snipe. Oh, great. Oh, Gray Area says, Lisa said my DNA is New York. And as a New Yorker, born and raised, I was like, me too, Lisa. Even though I still live in New York. Lisa does not. She's lived in Utah for like the last almost 30 years. But she's still a New Yorker. Okay? And apparently so is Meredith.
Yeah.
Meredith can go herself. I'm done with her. Because I'm not a whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and a dumb family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Wait, you can't. Because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes? Fake Meredith is a piece of I have your back and I'm offended by that. You, that piece of garbage whore. I hate her. She's a whore. She's half of New York.
The last part. She's from upstate New York, Lisa? Well, Lisa, that's a little different. That's a little different. I don't know about you. When I'm abroad and people ask me where I'm from, I always say New York City. I don't say the United States. Because there is a difference. Just like, all right. Moving on from there. So Lisa says that her DNA is New York through and through. Mary says that Lisa is a risky friend. She says that the reason why she's a risky friend, because Lisa says, why do you think I'm a risky friend, Mary? She says, because you're delusional. She says you're delusional. You think that you're better than all of us, that you live this very different life. Well, we see her tag team partner, Meredith. They're like, I think that we all live a very different life, including myself. I think we all live a very different life. So that's where they are tag teaming. Because I'm just like, that's not the way it came across when Lisa said that she lives a very different life. Whitney believes that Lisa missed the first trip for another reason. So you remember we didn't see Lisa in the premiere episode a lot. She did not join them on that first trip. So Whitney believes that something else was going on. She believes that Lisa went to Miami to get some work done. That's what she's like. She went to go get some work done. She says, Whitney says that there's a lot of good doctors in Miami. Mary says, well, that he wasn't one of them. Damn, Mary. Mary was coming for Lisa's neck under her breath multiple times. Lisa shows a picture of her because then they start talking about where was she says she was working. She was hanging out with Ben Affleck. So she brings out proof. And it's a picture from 2017. We are talking about 2024, 2025, Lisa. Where were you? Well, there were rumors that she was renegotiating her contract with Bravo, and that's why she didn't film the premiere episode. So I don't know what you think is real. Whitney thought, based off the picture that she saw of Lisa in Miami, she was like, oh, she was getting some work done. Well, Lisa, whatever work that you got done before this reunion, kudos. She looks great. Don't you agree? Whatever Lisa got done recently, the skin looked great. The skin looked smooth. She looked great at this reunion. Go back if you didn't watch it or you weren't paying attention. I was like, wait a minute. The makeup looked great, but we've seen her cake on makeup and it doesn't look great because the skin, the palette, the foundation is not great. And when I say foundation, I'm not talking about the makeup. I'm talking about the face, the skin. So whatever she did, the neck was looking smooth. It was. You share your information with Giselle, Lisa. She looked great, and I don't think it was threads. I don't think it was the threads. I know, girls. What's the tea says she claimed nothing was done. She did something. But it could also just trying to improve her skin. Maybe it's a little Botox. That's a part of your skincare routine. You don't want any more wrinkles than you already have, right? Kimberly says, Kempire, that wire is screaming. Now I'm the fifth member. How about that? Where is my fifth member? Hold on.
I am the fifth member. How about that?
Yeah, you're right. All right, let's move on. So Lisa tries to prove that she was hanging out with Ben Affleck. So she pulls out a picture from 2017. That's where she lost me. That's where she lost me. Fiery, stop. All right. Bronwyn talks about why she brought up Lisa's legal issues. She said it was in the papers. She says that that it's not like she dug up any of this information. Lisa's had Bronwyn blocked on everything, apparently. According to Lisa, Lisa and I weren't talking. She has me blocked on everything. Lisa, under her breath, says, and still do. Another one for Lisa. Another one for Lisa. Okay? So, She says, and she still has Bronwyn blocked. Lisa has one pending case, according to her. She says one is currently in litigation and the others have been dismissed. Okay? Look, and we talked about this endlessly in regards to, like, when you do have a $1 million business, you do end up having a lot of lawsuits. Okay? I don't think anything, I'm not surprised at that. It's not like it's criminal stuff. Okay? And remember, they tried to associate her to Jen Shah. So Heather says that they only discussed it because Lisa claims that she's richer than all of them. But does she still owe money to people? And she's just like, no. Lisa tries to distract from it. Lisa's answers were not concrete for me. However, I feel like they're reaching. Because what does Lisa's legal issues have to do with them? They want to focus on everything besides their own personal stories. And I get it. It's housewives, so these things do end up coming up. But there's such a constant focus on Lisa that I've told you, you guys make Lisa more relevant on this show than she does for herself. Which I can appreciate. Lisa's not trying to be relevant. You guys constantly are making her relevant in the focus of everything that's going on of the season. I'm just sort of like, what? I don't understand why you guys are so obsessed with what's going on with Lisa's legal stuff. None of her legal stuff are criminal. Civil, anyone can sue you civilly and say you owe them money. God forbid. But you know what I mean? Not to say there's any legitimacy to that. But they're accusing her of not coming to the group event, the first group trip, because of she wanted to avoid the conversations around her legal stuff. Excommunicado says, Kempire, you haven't caught any lawsuits with your business, though. Thankfully, I got my first cease and desist, what was it, last year, remember? I talked about it during the DC show. But that's the thing. You do, the bigger your business becomes, the more exposure you have to civil lawsuits and things like that. So I don't want that to happen, and I don't wish that on anybody, but I'm not surprised. And a lot of these lawsuits that celebrities have, I know sometimes when we report on lawsuits here on the channel, you think that's probably like their first lawsuit. I'm telling you right now, a lot of these people, a lot of these big figures are probably sued all the time. It does where it says, knock on wood. Just saying. Okay. Miss Melmash says, I thought someone was at my door when knocked on the desk. Oh, Lord. All right. But again, it's them trying to make Elisa more relevant than she really is on the show. They make her relevant. Not to, no shade, Lisa, but them constantly focusing on Lisa makes her the star of the show because they have nothing else going on. So, a fan apparently sent a video of Lisa talking about Todd having a small D. See, this is where Lisa loses me because I do believe Lisa is doing things behind the scenes and talking about the ladies. You're at BravoCon, and there's video footage of her talking about Todd having a small D and gout D and all this stuff. So they show the video footage of her and she's like doing it all lighthearted with the fans, and the fans are getting their life. They're like, "Oh my God!" And she said he had a small D, and I was just like, "OMG." Okay. But in the moment, Lisa's denying. She's denying saying anything or talking about Todd. She's like, I haven't done that. I haven't done that. No. So Lisa apparently called Todd a dirty old man in unseen footage from the boat. So they flash back to that and they show that. So what happened between Bronwyn and Lisa in regards to their truce? Bronwyn says that she's followed the truce, but Lisa has not. Lisa continued to talk about her family. Lisa denies talking about Todd and Bronwyn's family, but we do see the proof. BravoCon was just in November. So you have, since the truce, talked about Todd. Okay? Bronwyn says that she said on Below Deck that she was done with Lisa. So they show unseen footage where Lisa and Bronwyn have a conversation on the way back, I guess, down to their rooms, and they hug it out and they say, you know, we're done. We're not going to talk about each other and each other's families. We're done. Okay, but again, we just saw video footage at BravoCon of Lisa talking about Todd's D. Cindy says caught red-handed and denying it. So I do believe Lisa is underhanded, but I think all of them are underhanded, including Bronwyn. I don't think any of these people are innocent. The only person I think that might be innocent in regards to spilling stuff to the blogs would be Mary Cosby, because I don't think she knows how. I don't think she's innocent about some other things, but I definitely don't think that Mary Cosby is working with bloggers and spilling tea on these ladies. I don't. I think, if anything, she'll spill the tea on camera in an interview in regards to these folks. That's it. Okay. I also don't think Mary is scared to share her thoughts on these people. She called Heather inbred to her face. They laughed about it at this reunion. I don't think Mary is scared to say any of the stuff to their faces. Just saying. So where were we? So Lisa addresses the weird eye in the confessional. So they move on from that to go to a lighthearted moment. You remember the makeup issue. Lisa basically says that she must have cried in the confessional, and that may be what made her eyelash move. And then she says, you know, they went for a look and it didn't land. None of what Lisa said made sense to me, because if you had a moment where you cried in a confessional and your makeup got distorted, why wouldn't your makeup artist or production, because production is shady as hell for letting her continue to film with that damn eye looking like that? I don't understand why they wouldn't be like, okay, like, you know, clean up on aisle 6. You know what I mean? And Josh says that Mary's too busy spending the congregation's money. That part. Look, that port. All right. Moving on. Guys, keep liking the video if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. We appreciate your support. 2 peas in a bucket says, I'm sorry, but Meredith does act like she came from dental surgery. What does that mean? That she's high off of the laughing gas? D the Stallion, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Whitney and her Cindy baby talk could leave. I can agree with that. Miss Esquire, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Esquire says, Heather really let receipts proof timeline go to her head. You are not in charge of the girls. I agree. She's become so unlikable. That's the crazy part, because later on in the episode, or maybe coming up, Heather talks about, they look back on the 100 episodes of Salt Lake City, and she's like, I look back on that girl and I have such empathy for her. And she, you know, people said so many things about her. And I was like, who said anything about her? Maybe the cast did. However, the audience loved Heather back then. She was like the MVP after season 1. We like Heather. And then she slowly but surely became so unlikable. So damn unlikable, because you started trying to be, I guess because you were never the cool girl in high school, and now you feel like you are the cool girl because you're on this show. That mentality is why you become such a mean girl. That is why you become such a mean girl. D the Stallion, thank you so much for another super chat. D the Stallion says, bad weather, return to sender. Yeah, I agree. Next Level says, I did. J Poo, who's watching on Twitch, says, I didn't even realize they were 100 episodes. I mean, like season 2 had like 50. Season 2 had like 50 episodes. It was a long season. I remember that. I was like, damn, when is the season ending? It was a good season, but I was like, damn, when is the season ending? Nicole says that, yes, Heather has drank her own Kool-Aid. Yep, I agree. All right. Hey, everyone that's coming into the chat. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on part 1 of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. We did have some news that broke yesterday in regards to Nene Leakes going to be a part of the Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip. I got some more information on that. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. So make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are on to the channel. some of that tea I will probably be spilling at the New York City show as well. All right. Because I'm thinking by then, definitely by the New York City show, they will have filmed the ultimate road trip. So, yeah. Get your tickets, March 13th, New York City, in-person tickets, and, of course, live stream tickets. I got lots to share with you guys. I need to write some of this stuff down so I don't forget. Yes, Mr. Malcolm, it was like 22 episodes plus the trip was iconic. Salt Lake City has had a good, this is why I give them some leeway, because some people are saying that this season has been terrible. I don't think that it's been terrible. It started off really good, then it got really lackluster. I think they had a very good season finale, but it wasn't their best season. And I think it's because of people like Heather and Whitney that are trying to produce television. We're seeing that on Potomac. We're seeing Ashley and Giselle trying to produce moments. And I already told you, the tea that I've heard was because they were having a lackluster season. And that was part of the reason why they started trying to produce these moments. Probably also why we did a video yesterday talking about Ashley. And Ashley's so weird. Her revealing and throwing Giselle under the bus that Giselle knew about the Charisse, hooking up with Charisse's son. And basically, Giselle was like, how did his lips feel? You're gross. All of you are gross. I want to know if that was happening with one of your daughters, Giselle, and someone was like, how did their lips feel? How would you feel? Oh, but anything for a good show. All right, I've digressed. I've digressed. Let me get back to Salt Lake City. All right, so they start talking about cosmetic surgery. Angie discusses the things that she said because she's made a lot of comments about the women's appearance. And Angie says that Lisa claims that she hasn't done anything to her face. Lisa says, I did a CO2 laser. Remember the CO2 laser is what Tamara did? Not last season, but the previous season. And then her face was like, it was a mess. Does that work? I asked my esthetician about it. I was like, I am never doing that. Y'all not going to have me out here looking crazy. I don't care. It's for like a week. I can do everything else. Okay. And she says she did a CO2 laser and threads. That's it. Whatever you did, Lisa, before this reunion, keep doing. Because the skin was looking tight, moisturized. The makeup was done really well. Okay. And apparently the makeup artist that did her makeup for the confessional that ended up looking weird, she still loves her. They still work together. She didn't do her reunion look though. All right. Elisa says that she doesn't like the digs about her having glam. She says she isn't good at doing makeup. Did they really take digs about her doing glam? I guess they did during the Greece trip. I'm okay with her having glam. A lot of these women end up having glam. Some of them can't do their own makeup. Like, I'm impressed that Angie could do her own hair and makeup, and she looks like she just had glam. Some of them need glam. Heather, Whitney can't do her own glam either. But anyway, but yeah. So Angie addresses her Arby's and liquor partnership, and Andy says, what's this you trying to troll Lisa? And she's like, no. She's like, these partnerships came to me. Lisa says that she can't help that the group has benefited from Lisa's wins. So Whitney's just like, are you trying to say that we get these partnerships because of you? Which is like, well, maybe. I thought it was hilarious. This was a good one-liner from Lisa, because when she said it, I was like, what? Lisa says, if I was a credit card, I would sue for identity theft. Lisa was the MVP in part one. I have to see how the rest of this reunion goes, but she was definitely MVP in part one. She says, if I was a credit card, I would sue for identity theft, because of the way that these ladies are copying off of her. I was like, oh, okay, Lisa. We see each other. I thought that was a good one-liner, right? So then we had this really beautiful moment, because as someone that's watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City from the beginning, it was kind of nice to kind of see them go over the 100 episodes. They didn't even realize they had 100 episodes. We didn't realize that they had 100 episodes. So they recall some of those moments. Meredith talks about how she thought that she would be on the show 5 seasons max. Really, Meredith? I would have said 2-3 seasons max for you. And she says maybe that would have been a good thing, because now she's on her 6th season. Whitney said that I promised myself that I would be open and honest when I came on this platform.
Lies! The lie!
I don't believe that Whitney has been open and honest when she came on this platform. Especially because her and Heather try to claim like they're so open and honest on this show. No, you're not. You're distracting from your own personal stuff, and whatever you want to share, I feel is orchestrated. But okay. And I'm sure next season we're going to be talking about Whitney getting a divorce or having marriage trouble or they're separated or something like that. How you get them, how you lose them. Remember, they cheated to each other. Look. Maybe it's a cheating storyline next season. Well, in part 2, we're going to see why she starts crying. Foxy says, Whitney, shut the F up. Ooh, not Foxy. D-Cord said, I love that. She had them gagged. She had me gagged at home. I was like, yes, Lisa. If I was a credit card, I would sue for identity theft. Come on. Natty says she rehearsed all her reads. That was a good one, though. I don't mind the rehearsed reads. Look, Giselle could learn a thing or two about delivering a rehearsed read. It's about the delivery at the end of the day. If I was a credit card, I would sue for identity theft. I'm going to use that one. All right. So Andy talks about the change in Mary. Mary says that at first she didn't feel like that the group included her. And Mary says that she fell in love with the group. Because there really has been a big change with Mary from what we got from Mary from the early seasons versus what we get now. We still get snarky Mary a lot of times, but there's definitely a change. So Lisa gives an update on her son Jack. He's back at home living with them. He's going to the U. So she gives that update. Heather talks about the show helping her buy a home. I have to say, the show definitely gave a glow up. And for those that might be missing certain parts of, like, oh, I didn't see that on the Bravo version, I'm recapping the Peacock version, okay, which wasn't dramatically different. So, but Heather talks about how the show has really changed her life. She's been able to buy 2 homes. When did you buy a second home? Unless she didn't get rid of the other home. So that makes sense. So she says she's been able to buy 2 homes. She's got 4 cars. She's wrote 2 books. She says she feels like she's been able to do a lot because of this show. And I can agree with that. Who has changed the most in 6 years? And Heather believes that it's her. Mary believes that it's her. I can agree with both of them. But here's where Heather loses me. Heather says that she looks back on season 1 and she says that she knew what people were saying about her and says that, she was at her lowest point. She said people said that she didn't deserve to be there. I don't know about what the consensus was, but when it comes to the audience, we felt like, and I remember saying this, that Heather was the MVP after season 1. Heather has slowly, I think it was maybe season 3, where Heather started to have that shift and change. And again, a lot of you saying that she was drinking her own Kool-Aid. She has become very unlikable. All right, Brittany comes out, and I think Brittany comes out way too soon. Brittany did not need to come out in part 1. And when she comes out, she was sort of like barely there. Brittany comes out, and she's like, I'm so happy to be here. Andy's like, I know you are. And she's like, I know you are. And she's like, I brought my emotional support teddy bear. And then it's a message from Jared. He's like, I love you so much, no matter what happens on the show. I'm telling you this right now. If Brittany and her storyline is Jared next season, y'all can save it. We don't want it. I like Brittany. I think she's a good addition to the group, but I'm tired of the Jared storyline because now it's feeling like it's forced for television. But okay. But all right. So, Pageant Mommy says, and she lost weight, and that sometimes happens. In regards to a personality change, I can agree with that. I know someone years ago, someone that I used to work with, and she was, a heavier person, and she lost weight. But I honestly believe, very much like money, losing weight, and things like that, that's who they always been, who they always were. The money, the fame, the losing of weight is not changing their personality. It's them. It's who they always were or who they aspired to be, but they believed they couldn't do it without those things. So Heather has always been a mean girl. Heather has always been really the villain. She just didn't feel entitled to be that without those things, without the money, without the losing of the weight. Just saying. Okay. Okay. So Brittany, whatever. Let's move on. So then they talk about the Below Deck crossover and if whether or not Heather really did sleep with Captain Jason. So they replay that moment where she says, I effed around with Captain Jason. Captain Jason denied it on Watch What Happens Live. Now Heather's like, if I had effed around with him, I'd be wearing a sailor suit. I believe something, or I don't know. Look, do you believe something happened with Captain? I think something happened with Captain Jason, y'all. I think something happened. I think they just agreed never to talk about it because maybe Captain Jason's embarrassed. Because why would you just say that? Because even Andy was just like, she's like, apparently everyone defines effed around as something different. For me, it's sort of we've hung out with each other, but you know what effed around mean. There is no other definition about it. There is no other definition about effed around. He and I effed around. You know what you meant. You know exactly what you meant. Exactly. Soka says Heather definitely slept with Captain Jason, but she got embarrassed because he denied it. High school all over again, right, Heather? I think something definitely happened because word on the street, allegedly, Captain Jason is a man about town, especially during BravoCon. Kissing and maybe when she says effed around, maybe they didn't sleep with each other, but maybe they kissed. You know what I mean? Soka says, Kempire, you right on the money. He don't want to be associated with that. Sorry, Heather. Alessia says, spot on. Heather was always a mean girl. She just thought that her physicality wasn't the right one to be liked and envied mean girl. Not us breaking it down. I love it for us. Guys, you're just joining us. Don't forget you can hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star review. We appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. And today is brought to you by our friends over at Wix. It's a new year, and I bet you have new ideas or a new plan or new goals for yourself. Well, Wix.com has got you covered when it comes to your website. Years ago, one of my very first websites was built by Wix.com. And even back then, I was like, they make it so easy to build your own website. Because I can tell you this already. I've paid lots of money before to have my website built by other people. Wix makes it easy for you, the everyday person that doesn't really understand how building a website happens. Wix makes it so easy, especially with some of their AI tools. So when I started my podcast and YouTube channel, I didn't know what I was getting myself into at all. Back then, we didn't have AI. It was just me, myself, and I doing every single thing. If I could go back in time, if I was starting my business today, I use Wix. There's so many really cool options that Wix has now available to you. You can create a website your way, whether you want to have AI to jump in or you prefer to do it yourself. Use the AI when you want or how you want. You can customize any detail with the most flexible website editor out there. Rest easy knowing that your Wix site is backed by 99.99 uptime and enterprise-grade security. No add-ons required. Built so that you can own your individuality, create freely, and scale fearlessly. As I mentioned before, they have really cool AI capabilities. Wix is packed with some of the coolest, most useful AI features and agents built specifically for SMB so that you can grow your business without burning out. And that is a powerful statement. Generate unlimited images, website sections, product descriptions, and more. Automate email marketing, SEO tasks, inventory management, and more. Enjoy easy, fuss-free domain registration, web hosting also included. Powered by 280 plus million businesses around the world. They're not new to this. They're true to this. Start delivering AI solutions way before it was cool. Wix has been pioneering in website tech for almost 20 years. Sign up for free at Wix.com. That's Wix.com. Head on over to the description for more details. And welcome back. Thank you to Wix for sponsoring today's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap. Again, more information on Wix and our other sponsors. And Are You Okay merch? As you can see on my sweatshirt, we have all kinds of merch available right now. All that information will be available in the description. All right. Look, LN says, I just use Wix for my consulting business. Congrats. I love that. All right, let me say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Guys, we're almost at 300 likes. If you remember the channel, I did drop the call-in link for those that want to call in and share their thoughts on part 1 of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. Nia, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Nia says, I listened to the Rachel Lindsay podcast, and they said Heather wants to be her funny season 1, Heather. Not happening, bad weather. Hey, Rachel Lindsay. I met Rachel not the last BravoCon, but the previous one, the one that I actually attended. So sweet. Way of Keith, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Way of Keith says, why does Lisa keep talking about another man's shrimp? Is she not getting any at home? I can't even imagine Lisa and John having sex. Salt Lake City hides behind editing to distract from the lack of storylines. Well, I could definitely agree with that, and that's probably why everyone feels like this season was a little bit lackluster. Kendra, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Kendra says, I was on the website. I appreciate all you do. Any chance you will have an Are You Okay coffee mug? I'd buy one for our home and work. Fingers crossed. Oh, Kendra, I didn't think about that. Let me write that down. All that takes is a little something to do. Hold on, let me just write that down. Are you okay mug? I didn't think about that. Who else wants a mug? Let me know in the chat. Thank you, Kendra. I'll let you know. I'll post it on the post tab once it's done. I didn't even think about that. There are hats, though, right? There are You Okay hats, I think. And sweatshirts and T-shirts and everything like that. So thank you, Kendra. Thank you for the idea. I didn't even think about that. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Not you guys slandering each other in the chat. Show Ozzy. What's going on? Show Ozzy's watching from Sydney, Australia. What's going on? Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Tracy says, yes, coffee mug. Crockett says, that's a great idea. Okay. Girls, what's tea? Says me. All right. All right. I love mugs. Desiree says, all right. All right. LaPrice says, me. I want a mug. All right. Stay tuned. I want a mug now, too. I have too many mugs. I don't need any more mugs. But I'll get the mugs for you guys. All right. A lot of you want the mugs. All right. Mugs coming to thehouseofkempire.com soon. Okay. I'm going to work on that after today. All right. Ronnie says, love that live. See? All right. You're helping each other. We're helping each other. Make sure you guys are following me on YouTube because I am going to be posting. I'm going to do like a focus group in regards to some of the things for 2026 that we're going to be working on. So stay tuned. All right. All right. So what else happened? So Bronwyn then starts talking about the legal stuff that she's gone through and all the rumors that were on Reddit and on the Twitter streets and whatnot. So Bronwyn addresses as why she can't talk about why the case is sealed. So a fan calls in, sent in a message to Andy saying, well, if you had the case sealed, that doesn't mean that you can't talk about it, which we talked about, and we gave Bronwyn her talking points for the reunion. Remember? We said, Bronwyn, all you have to say is, because we speculated the reason why she probably can't talk about it because it's not her case and it was sealed because of someone else. So that's basically what she says at the reunion, that she can't talk about it because it's not her situation. She also says, if I was involved in any criminality, don't you think I would have been denied for citizenship? I mean, I believe her. I mean, now if you apply for citizenship, more than ever, probably. Well, no, she's a white woman, so she'll be fine. Look, you got to call a thing a thing. Just saying. Danny says Bronwyn comes off very sneaky. I could see that. I can definitely see that. But do you think that there was really anything in regards to these legal cases? I agree with her, though, especially if she wasn't going for citizenship, then I think there would still be a hint of like, did she do something? But I think if she really had did something that was criminal, that she would not be able to become citizen. So, Foxy says that Todd made it go away. So the accusations about that was also addressed. She says, yes, she's had a past in regards to, like, when she was in college, she had an eviction. She had a civil dispute with a roommate. Look, none of what they've brought up in regards to Bronwyn has really stuck. At this particular point, she addresses it at the reunion. She didn't sweat about it. So I'm just like, okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Because I really don't care. If you don't have solid proof on this, let's move on. So moving on from there, Lisa the leak. That's how I labeled this portion of the reunion. So Bronwyn discusses who leaked about her past to the press. And she believes that Lisa wasn't the one that leaked it, but she's the one that made it gain traction. That's why I have to say, Bronwyn, I don't know if that's true. Because the way that the Bravo universe is set up, things gain traction because maybe a fan doesn't like you. You've had some interactions with fans where I could see them wanting to get vengeance and this gaining traction, or people wanting to be like, oh gosh, not another housewife involved in criminality. I don't think that's just on Lisa. Do I think Lisa could be like, oh my God, did you see this? I could see that, but it gaining traction, Lisa's not that powerful. Come on. I don't think that Lisa's that powerful. So she then claims the reason why she believes that it's Lisa. She says, someone on the boat, she says specifically someone, she didn't say Lisa, someone on the boat pushed the story that she was late to the boat due to the rumors. You know who did it? The same ones that told Angie to bring up the kissing and farting. It'll be funny. Bring it up. The same ones, because I don't know if this was in the Bravo version. I can't remember. With the whole cucumber, we found out that it was Whitney who got the cucumber. So she explains during the reunion, she did the cucumber because she was going to be a ha-ha funny moment with Heather. It wasn't a ha-ha funny moment with Heather. We didn't even find out during the season, what it was what was that there for? And even Mary Cosby was confused. She's like, "What? Why is that funny? I don't get it. I don't get it." Winter says that it could have been a deckhand. It could have been, but I believe it was one of the women. What could it have been? Lisa? Could have been. But it also could have been Heather. It could also have been Whitney. So, sidebar, did you guys notice, if you don't pay attention, you might miss this. Mary Cosby, anytime that Brittany is reacting or saying anything, she rolls her eyes. She does not like Brittany. But she also didn't like Angie in the beginning, and she ended up loving Angie. I don't see that happening, though. I don't see it happening. Do you? I don't. So then it leads into a conversation about Lisa and her business and what her business is and what is Lux marketing. So Heather claims that she doesn't understand Lisa and why she has all these attorneys and her Lux marketing business. So Lisa tries to explain what the Lux marketing is. Meredith is chiming in. I've been to some of the events, and Heather's just like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And Lisa gets really upset about that because she's just like, you've been to my events. You know exactly what I do. Well, here's the thing with Heather. I find it interesting that Heather doesn't have any idea what Lisa does, is so confused by it. And you said the same thing about Jen Shaw, but you really weren't harping on Jen Shaw and her business. And Jen Shaw went to jail for her business. But you weren't harping or asking all these questions or making it your storyline when Jen Shaw had a very funny business. Jen Shaw could barely explain her business. I could understand somewhat Lisa's business, but do I think Lisa's doing anything funny? Not really. I don't. Heather claims that Heather really wanted to have a moment at the reunion. She was just, because you saw that Lisa brought up that she developed this business with the Bella twins. And she's like, and what happened with you and the Bella twins? Are you still friends with the Bella twins? She kept trying to bring that up, and Lisa kept ignoring it. Lisa kept ignoring it. And look, people fall out in business too. Not me defending Lisa, but y'all make it so easy because you guys make her such a focus, and you all look so sad. So Heather keeps bringing up, are you no longer friends with the Bella twins? Okay, who are you no longer friends with, Heather? Oh wait, you had no friends. Pageant Mommy says that Mary is not mean. She's indirect. She's direct, in my opinion. No, she can be mean. Mary could be mean. Sometimes you got to call a thing a thing. I don't think it's just her being direct. She can definitely be mean. Okay. All right. Angie pulls out a scroll because this is how the reunion ends. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake reunion. If you guys are just joining, we're talking about part 1. It's a 3-part reunion. You can let me know if you think that if it warrants a 3-part reunion. I thought it was a decent first part. If I had to rate the first part, I would give it a 7, but nothing beyond a 7. I think I'm being generous with a 7 as well. Okay. SW says Mary is mean for real. OMG. So Angie pulls out a scroll. It's a scroll that was gifted to her by Meredith. Okay. And she says that she has proof that Lisa is connected to a phone number of a troll that's been trolling her on social media. And she says the number that's connected to the troll is actually Lisa's phone number. Do I think Lisa is trolling these ladies? Yes. Do I think all these ladies troll each other on social media and talk to bloggers and try to spill tea? I heard some information about you ladies. You ladies, you all do it. I just want to point that out. And I know that, I'm not going to say I know for a fact, allegedly, you all are trying to spread information about each other to anyone that will listen and trying to get it out there. All of you. None of you are innocent. So you're accusing Lisa of something, but you guys do it too. Shady reality TV review says Angel and her props. Rolls eyes. I didn't mind the prop, but I also don't feel like the information she brought really was like this aha moment. I was like, okay. I mean, we'll have to wait to see next week if this is true in regards to the phone number. Is it actually Lisa's phone number or is it one of Lisa's phone numbers? Is it tied to Lisa? Look. Okay. Shersha says, even Mary? Well, no, not Mary. I already said earlier that I don't think Mary is talking to the blogs. I don't think she knows how. Okay? If anything, she's going to be mean to your face. Okay? No. She's the only one on this cast that I don't think that's talking to bloggers and trying to spread information on each other. Everyone else? Yes. Everyone else. Josh says, nah, for a fact, Kemp, but I understand due diligence. Exactly. For legal reasons. Allegedly. All right. We're going to get to the callers. For those that are here, I will drop the call-in link for you guys for the general audience on YouTube and on Facebook once we get to 400 likes. But if you're on Twitch, I already dropped the call link for you guys there. If you're a member of the channel, I've already dropped the call link for you there. Let's get to the callers, shout out to our members. We only got a couple of members backstage, which is fine by me. I got things to do, okay? Keep in mind, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, or our sponsors. And everything that they say is alleged, okay? Exactly. BY says they all talk to bloggers and content creators. I agree. MD, thank you so much for the super chat. MD says, I'm with Mary. Brittany is embarrassing. I can't be friends with attention-seeking, men-centered women. I value my mental health. I can see it. Oh, no, just shut up. Mr. Bell Imagine says, Mary put a hex on that blogger in the doc. Which one? They featured so many. OMG, now she put a hex. Mary, don't put a hex on me. I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. Stop. All right, let's bring up Nia first. Nia, what's going on?
Hey,
how are you?
I'm New York thick and through. Yeah. Oh my God, I love how delusional and extra she is.
Me too.
I do want to say I kind of agree with you, though. I don't think it's needed for like a 3-part. And Brittany, I love how they brought her out. I'm not going to lie. I was giving Real Housewives of Miami because they don't normally bring them out part 1. And lastly, just Bronwyn, shut up because you talk bearish about Seth. So, apparently husbands aren't off limits. Oh. And aren't you divorcing him? Oh. Like, I don't get it. You were plotting this from time. Anyways, have a great day.
You too, Nia. Thank you so much for calling in. I mean, that's true. She talked about Meredith's marriage, and that really landed flat. There was really no information there. But okay. And she did that for the cameras, let's be honest. All right, let's bring up Angel W. Angel, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, I agree. The episode was about a 7. There is no need for 3 parts. We could have wrapped this up as soon as Brittany came out. And I think that we should have gotten to the whole plane incident, because if they have footage of Lisa talking crap about Bronwyn and her husband on film, where everyone has a phone, so why have we seen no plane footage? They should just stop dragging this out and let us all get ready for the next season of whatever, because as great as the episodes are during the season, the reunions are always kind of trash, and there's no need. Andy, go home early. Get a shorter check if you have to, because there's no need for 3 people.
You know he's not taking a shorter check. You know he's not taking a shorter check.
And he needs to be replaced. Andy should only be hosting Beverly Hills. I don't want him hosting anything else, and give you the job for the Traitors reunion.
Because
Andy, bye-bye.
Everyone swears that I want the job. No. I don't.
You'll be a better host than him. Andy is tired, and don't replace him with Jeff Lewis either.
Some people were saying that they felt like Andy looked bored in part 1 already.
He was bored, and he was over it because they have nothing to offer us during the reunion. It's just because it has to be done.
I think what makes Salt Lake City special is the editing. So
the editors can't edit real life in real time.
in the reunion, you can't add music to that. You can't add little quirky sound effects. Yeah, that might be it. All right.
That's it.
Thanks, Angel.
Bye, Kemp.
Take care. We're going to bring up Keith next. Keith, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So I just wanted to say that Lisa needs to probably stop getting her reads off of Pinterest. It definitely seems like something she can put on her poster board and remember back over and over, you know? But also, Mary, I'm going to just have to whack Mary and a whole bunch of other people on the cast as well, because I feel like if Mary was on any other franchise, she wouldn't be able to get away with half of the stuff she gets away with, especially knowing Potomac, Atlanta. You know, Potomac loves to come for husbands, and we know about her husband. Okay, and my thing is she is very sensitive, but if the other ladies come at her, all of a sudden she want to be taken aback. She quit the show once they started talking about her church. So, I mean, how strong exactly is Mary? And I feel like the only reason Mary is lasting this long is because the ladies on the show isn't giving her the energy that I think she actually deserves. She's great for the show, though. That's it.
Thanks, Keith. I mean, Keith brings up a very valid point, but we said this about other people. If they wouldn't survive in Atlanta. Like Giselle would not survive in Atlanta. So, but I agree. We already know that in Potomac or Atlanta, they would constantly bring up the fact that Mary's married to her stepdaddy, uncle, godfather, husband. I don't know, grandfather, husband. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right. Cynthia's backstage. Cynthia, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm good. The episode was okay. The reunion was okay. I am a diehard Lisa and Meredith stan, and I love their attitude of being unbothered. And also, Kempire, I do agree with the other callers saying that, you should host a reunion, because I think you will ask the questions that nobody else will ask, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, and I always say this to you guys. I talked about this on TikTok last night. If I were to take the job, please understand there are network executives and producers that are going to be like, oh, you can't ask that, or they'll edit it out.
Oh.
So just think about
I didn't know that.
Andy himself can ask it, whatever, because he's an executive producer. I would be coming in there as just talent. So just keep that in mind. Just saying.
Okay, well, I tried. Thanks, Kempire.
Thanks, Cynthia. Take care. All right, Alessia's backstage. Alessia, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Look, this reunion, I have a feeling is not gonna be good. I feel like, they try to hype it a lot. Also the crossover below the deck and stuff. It didn't land. This reunion, apparently, Andy's going to leave and he's not going to land. I think that he's trying to push so much on Salt Lake City, and he's trying to make Salt Lake City happen. Let Salt Lake City be Salt Lake City. You know what I mean? I mean, the editing is already helping, but, I think they're trying too hard. And Heather managed to make...
Not to cut you off, Alessia, which is interesting because when you look this past week, Married to Medicine got higher ratings than Salt Lake City and Real Housewives of Potomac.
Exactly. So I think that they are trying so hard. They're trying to make Salt Lake City the new Beverly Hills, and that is not the case. And also, Heather managed to make like a lot of people being sympathizing for Lisa and Meredith. You know what I mean? And I feel like deep down she was always a mean girl. Like she like had the resentment for the Queen Bee that she saw in Lisa, and now she's throwing all that hatred, all that resentment towards Lisa. But it's uncalled for, you know. And I feel like Andy is trying to push that narrative. You know, like he's trying to supporting Heather and the other girls like to against Lisa and Meredith, and he's not necessarily there barking at the wrong tree. You know what I mean? So I feel like if they keep pushing like that, I don't know how it's gonna be next season. I mean, like I feel like the hype is way too much and it's not deserved. That's it. Thank you,
so
Kempire.
Bye.
Thank
you. Take care. Bye. Vicky says that they were bothered if Andy noticed that they were talking to each other in regards to Lisa and Meredith, because Lisa and Meredith definitely had their conversations. They were checking in with each other. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Did we cover everything? They were making a lot of comments under their breath in regards to how the reunion was going. Simply V, thank you so much for being a member for the Super Chat. Simply V says, just stopping by to say, hey, Kempire and chat. My birthday is tomorrow, so please celebrate the goats in your life. Happy birthday, V. Hope you have a fantastic birthday. Angela says, well, there are some housewives you don't like, Kempire, so I'm not sure if you could stay neutral. Well, here's the thing. You don't think that there are housewives that Andy has as favorites? A lot of people say that he doesn't stay neutral. And here's the thing, too. Because I do what I do and people know my opinions here, it would be hard to stay neutral because I do this every single week. Andy doesn't do a recap of the show every single week. And again, Angela, I'm not asking for the job. Y'all want me to have the job. I want my daytime talk show so I can talk about them and so much more like we do here on the channel. Just saying. That's why I say the trajectory that some people have for me is definitely not the one I have for myself. Just saying. All right, let's move on. KEW's backstage. KEWQ, what's going on?
Hello.
Hey, how are you? I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, by the way, I don't know why it says KEW here because on the comments I'm Dudzi.
Oh, okay. I don't know why it does that.
So at least you can link. You know, we are one and same person. So I made some notes so that I don't take too much of your time.
Okay.
First of all, did Bronwyn say that John had an ex-wife?
She did say something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one who didn't know that he had an ex-wife. So I was a bit like, oh, so I've learned something.
Yeah.
But maybe I was the only one who didn't know. And also there was one of the comments on your chat said that Heather wanted to revert back to being the season 1 Heather that everybody loved. And I agree with that. And I think that she's reading the feedback from the viewers, and that's why she's going after Lisa. Because people are saying Lisa is never like she's roaming free, and then she's doing this, doing that. And I think she's taking notes and she's trying to do the viewers' work, but it doesn't work. It doesn't land. And Heather's face when Lisa called her out and said, "You're the one who told Angie to come in with the kissing and farting and making out and with Todd." And I loved how Heather's face dropped because she felt like she was being called out. No, I'm talking to Kempire. Please don't do that every time. God.
Yes, please talk to me on the laptop.
Yeah, if you want. Oh my God. Do you remember my son?
I do.
New Year, same him. And I had to hide. I swear I had to hide the screen because I said, "Oh, I'm on the phone." And he's like, "Is that Kempire? Is that Kempire?" I'm like, "No, it's not Kempire. Just leave me alone. I want to talk." Oh, okay. So he's back home. So now I need to attend to my duties. All right.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. The kids love Kempire, okay? I need to put that on a t-shirt. The kids love Kempire. All right, let me bring up Anthony next. Anthony, what's going on?
Hey everyone, Anthony from Los Angeles, California. How are you today, Kempire?
I'm well, how are you?
Good, thanks. I'm gonna give this episode a 6 out of 10. Honestly, this is pretty much Lisa Barlow's reunion. I can understand why they're all going after her or to her, just because Heather, your storyline was about your daughters going to college. That was basically their story, not yours. Whitney, I really was wanting to see her storyline of her failed business because we never seen that as much, or if not enough, in the Housewives universe. So that was refreshing to see, but yet nothing else happened. So and then Bronwyn, we knew she had to separate from Todd. Like, come on now, we read the room. But everybody else is like, I don't know. Like Lisa, she was taking it, especially with that whole comment about Bronwyn. Like, what do you do? What is your business? Like, what do? Do you just spend Todd's money? Which, I mean, rightfully so, because if you're married to that type of man, I'd be spending it too every day, 24 hours a day. But honestly, bravo for Barlow. I can't wait to see the second, if not the third part. Is it necessary? 2 parts is enough, if not 1. But honestly, so far, that's all right. But I do like Salt Lake City, though. But thank you so much, Kempire.
Okay. Take care, Anthony.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, we're going to bring up the French Frizz. Hold on one second, French Frizz. Hold on, what's going on with my thing here? French Frizz, what's going on?
Me. Hi. Oh my God, I can't believe I got through. Hi, Kempire. I'm listening from Philly, but I'm French, so I know there was another fellow Frenchie over there.
Yes. How long have you lived in Philly?
12 years.
Okay, all right.
13. Yeah, it's been a while. Okay. But yeah, so a couple things. I have a soft spot for Bronwyn. I don't know why. And I know she bothers a lot of people and all that stuff. But there's something about just owning your stuff and just coming in hot with all your baggage and just showing your life, Like she didn't hide much. I mean, she's lying about some of the stuff, but they all do, but the big lines of her story we know. But I just wish all of them would stop trying to get Lisa Barlow to be honest about anything. Yeah. They have the footage and she'll still be lying and telling you to your face that it didn't happen. So what's the point? Just say, okay, Lisa, and keep it moving. They'll just show the clip and then she'll look dumb. But she'll overtalk you. So there's no way to, have her to shut up. They can't get her to, stop talking. So, and same thing with Meredith. I think she has her shtick. Her stick is the mysterious lady. Oh. It is what it is. Okay. We're not going to learn anything about it. So, them two, they're not going to change. So just, keep it cute. Say, hi, okay, Meredith. Okay, Meredith. Okay, Lisa. And just keep it moving.
Okay.
And then we can learn more about their story rather than wasting all this editing footage on trying to prove Lisa and Meredith wrong. Then we can see something else.
Is that part of the reason why they do that? Because they don't have any?
That's a fair point. Touche.
Maybe. French Frizz, thank you so much for calling in.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Bye. All right, we're going to bring up Mama Z next. Mama Z, what did you want to share?
Hey, y'all. Hey, Kempire. This reunion, it was really good. I agree. I don't think it needs to be 3 parts. 2 parts max would, I think, cover everything we need to know. But what I think a lot of us is forgetting too, a lot of the commentary we send for this reunion, it's all really a get back of a lot of Lisa's stuff from last reunion, I think. Lisa was throwing so many shots about Angie's businesses during the season, saying that she only owns one or whatever. Her saying that Bronwyn only spends Todd's money. I think they were harping so much over Lisa's lawsuits because they're like, girl, you count in our pockets, but we can count yours too. So I think they spent way too much time on that instead of their own storylines, which when I really think about it, did they even really have storylines? Like, what did Angie have going on other than her daughter and the horse? What did Bronwyn have going on other than the cherry with Todd? Like, we really didn't see a lot happening in their own personal lives. So what else were they going to talk about? And, I am no Lisa and Meredith stan in the slightest. I'm not a fan at all. But Lisa was definitely eating them up with her little one-liners. So we got to give her that. She's baby gorgeous is good. And she was looking good. Lisa was looking good, y'all. She wasn't giving wind tunnel and fast food.
Nope.
He was giving vegetables and good rest.
Yes.
So,
and drinking her water.
And drinking that water. She looked real hydrated, Lisa. You ate that up. So we'll see what part 2 happens, y'all.
Most definitely. Mama Z, thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks, bye, guys.
Bye. All right. Last but definitely not least, we're going to bring up Excommunicado. Excommunicado, what did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion?
Yeah, hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Before I start, I think I feel kind of a little bit invigorated and vindicated that I'm not the only one who is out here supporting Brownwing.
Okay. You and 2 other people. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, because when the French lady was talking about that, okay, finally, there's somebody else out there who sees some good in Brownwing.
I see some good in Brownwing. I feel like they all do some of the same thing, but I see the good in Brownwing. I think she's a great housewife on Salt Lake City.
Yeah, she truly is. And for me, I think everybody felt like Angela was the best addition in recent years, or Stacey. But for me, I think it's Brownwing, in my opinion. But yeah. Okay, for this reunion, I would give Lisa and Meredith their props. I think they probably spent some endless nights preparing. Meredith using her legal strategies to prepare Lisa and all of that, and it's paying off. And I think they are trying to also make sure they don't miss anything that they had on their charts and boards that they prepared, trying to ensure that, okay, they didn't miss something. And it's paying off because Lisa actually really I think she's performed better than ever before in this first part of the reunion.
Yeah.
And she actually finally got in one good job also at Brownwing with that "What do you do" line. But beyond that, Brownwing was wearing her out while they were going at it. She was really wearing this out. And I feel like that is probably the reason why Lisa really hates Brownway, because she finally met her match, the one person who is able to overtalk her, because she does that to other people. But this time she's never able to successfully talk down on Brownway. Brownway keeps going back and forth with her. And in the end, Lisa has to give up, because it doesn't make sense to me that, okay, you have this lady blocked, you hate her so much, and you say she's disgusting and she's a liar and all of these things. But after just in the last parts of the season, you were apologizing to her and trying to tell her, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. And she has kept to her part of it, but you didn't. But yet you still have so much vitriol for her when you're the one who is going out against her, obviously, from the videos and all that, because a lot of the lies Lisa tells we actually brought to the fore with the videos and all of that. So why do you have so much hate for her when you are the one who is actually not keeping to the agreement and all of that you guys had? So that really loses me with Lisa on that, and kind of almost justifies the way some of them come at her.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Excommunicado.
Thanks.
Take care. All right, let's get to these last couple of callers, because then I really got to go. All right, let's bring up Ariel next. Ariel, what did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion, part 1?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So I wanted to say this season, to me, I would rate it like a C+, a B-. I feel like it was some good moments in there, but I do feel as though, like most of the callers were saying, the storylines weren't matching up. And I definitely feel like Bronwyn is getting exposed. I clocked it from day one.
Uh-oh. No, I can't hear you, Ariel. Ariel, we lost you. Did she get a call? She probably got a call, and it got cut off. Damn it. Call back. Ariel, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. So I knew Bronwyn from day one was trying to get on a reality show to have her exit strategy with Todd. And I just feel like this. I think that a lot of people aren't following what's really going on with Lisa. She brings a lot of people on the show. Hey, do you clock that? She brings a lot of people on the show, and then they always end up using her as a storyline and backstabbing her to stay on the show. Angie did it. Bronwyn did it. Y'all need to check. Bronwyn, if you're going to leave Todd, you need to check. So I just feel like I just clocked it from the beginning, and what happened, she's separated and divorcing Todd. I feel as though Whitney needs to leave. I do feel like there needs to be a shakeup within the cast. I also feel as though there needs to be somebody who can really read. Not as much as maybe a Nene energy, but it needs to be somebody there that can dissect through the delusions of everyone. Lisa's not the only one that's delusional, who can pinpoint and say in the moment how Heather is producing, how Whitney is producing. I'm so sick of Whitney. I feel as though, it's confusing because she says she's concerned about Meredith, but I'm like, you haven't been a good friend of Meredith. If they would have done the things that they did to Mary, that they've done to Meredith, like the accusations, pill pop and drinking, she would be on break from the show. And I just think that that's really low. If you have a father or a parent or anybody who has an addiction, that should be the actual last thing that you throw up to somebody. If you're concerned, Whitney, that is so low. And every season she just goes low. And I don't even understand how she has a fan base. It's like she has nothing to talk about.
Who's a fan of Whitney? Show yourself. No.
She got some fans on Twitter. She has some fans. I just think like her fans, and that's why they guard at Lisa, because it's like Whitney's, they have their fans. To me, close. I love Lisa. So yeah, shake up definitely needs to happen.
Okay.
With the OG, maybe Heather needs to be demoted to friend of, and Whitney off the show completely, and then somebody who can really, really read and get the girls together.
Okay.
Definitely needs to be added in.
All right. Thanks, Ariel, for calling in. All right. Last but definitely not least, Nakazi. Nakazi, what did you want to share?
Good day, Kempire. Kazi Collier from Sydney. It's about 5 a.m., so it's nice to finally get through.
5 a.m.
Enjoyed the part 1. Probably give it an 8 out of 10. I don't know if it's because of the time difference or the wine. But I'm a fan of Britney, unpopular opinion. I hate that I love her so much on the show, but she's probably brought so much more to this season and the storyline than any of the other full-timers. I love Lisa and Meredith and their delusion. I can't wait to see what the tag team partners give us for part 2. Other than that, love all your reviews.
Thank you so much, Nakazi, for calling in.
Thank you. Have a good night or good afternoon or morning, whatever time it is there.
You too. Take care. All right. Shout out to everyone calling in from around the world. Don't forget, for those of you, Nakazi, as well, get your live stream ticket for the Kempire After Dark, a live show, because there is it is available for everyone internationally to watch the Kempire After Dark, a live show coming to New York City on March 13th at the Green Room 42. But as I said to you before, if you are in the New York City tri-state area, or you can be in New York on March 13th, sometimes tea is spilled after the show, before the show. Get your tickets today. More ticket information will be available in the description. Dion says, Kempire, ask if he's a billionaire. His voice is nice. You know what, Dion? Give me your phone. But, Nakazi, are you? Just, you never know. I'm going to have to take a trip. All right. Anyway, hold on. I did have a super chat. Thank you, MD, for the super chat. MD says, daytime needs you badly. Nothing good since 2022. Damn. Thank you so much, MD. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat. All right, y'all. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. I will see you all in the next one. I did post quite a few videos this week already. We did our Real Housewives of Potomac recap, our Married to Medicine recap. We just did our Salt Lake City recap. I gave you an update on Nene Leakes returning to Real Housewives. We did a video on, oh Lord, the Donnie McClurkin lawsuit. If you missed that, don't rely on the algorithm. Sometimes you need to go to my YouTube page and actually see what videos I've posted, or short form videos. Make sure you guys are checking those things out. And do me a favor, give it a like, give it a comment. That helps with the algorithm. Also, share the video. Share this live. Share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. If we're going to get to 600,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, you guys got to start doing the legwork. I do enough work. I couldn't even say that seriously. But no, seriously, come on. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All right? And don't forget, you could hear our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. And for those that are asking about the merch, I'm going to work on getting you guys an Are You Okay mug. But the Are You Okay sweatshirts, are available right now. All right, houseofkempire.com. And our sponsors, Wix and Factor. All those details will be available in the description. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to our subscribers. Thank you to those of you watching in the bushes. Thank you to our replay crew. Replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and ratings on part 1 of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion and your thoughts on what we had to say here. All right. And thank you, C. C says, let me go ahead and get a membership. You should. You should. TeamKempire.com/join. Just saying. C flex. All right. I'll see you all in the next one. Let's get to 500 likes for those that are watching the replay. I will see you all later. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.